Climate research can be risky, but not doing it can be worse, leaving humanity not knowing what it doesn't know. Temperature trackers at NOAA report that 2017, like 2016, has been extremely hot. The globe, says NOAA, had its second warmest year-to-date and third warmest June on record. In this non-El Niño year, the record-breaking data is disturbing because the warmer world also means more extreme events, such as a busy hurricane season. The number and intensity of wildfires is likely to increase too, which also means more carbon emissions and less carbon absorption in the future. As the climate changes, the regions and ecosystems of the Earth transform. Scientists studying the Antarctic are engaged in award-winning research and have learned that changing warmer winds are quickly melting the ice. In the Arctic, thawing permafrost could be releasing larger amounts of methane than expected, accelerating the warming trends. In Africa, deserts get wetter. The nomadic herders cannot find grasses for their livestock to eat, and wild dogs starve. Researchers suggest that wildlife in Great Britain may not be able to adapt. The changing climate also makes food industry technology even more important. In the United States, California crops will experience wide swings in rainfall patterns. And as strawberry farmers in Florida have already learned, crop timing and productivity will be altered, which can fundamentally affect profits. Some crops may experience unexpected health complications too. Brazilian scientists are concerned about increases in rodents and disease in sugar farms. Studies of clam fossils show that warmer epochs with higher sea levels triggered surges in parasites. Unfazed by the scientific concerns, conservatives in the U.S. decry the ugly environmentalists and defend President Trump as a guardian of the environment. Many global citizens disagree. Africa is expanding solar research. Chileans who depend on their environmental resources consider climate change the greatest external threat. France and Israel launched a new satellite to monitor the climate. Tasmanian fisheries are suffering from unprecedented ocean warming. As the United Kingdom's Environment Secretary put it, the USA walked out of the room just when the heat is on. Given these global views, perhaps President Trump might not matter. But if he does, don't expect foreign critics to convince Trump to reverse course. After all, a government scientist filed a whistleblower lawsuit accusing the administration of suppressing climate science. Mark Zuckerberg was not allowed to meet with the climate scientists at Glacier National Park. The new White House Communication Director, Anthony Scaramucci, has compared the consensus on climate change to the belief that the world was flat. And the president nominated a radio talk show host to be the top scientist for the U.S. Department of Agriculture. To some eyes, the global status of the United States as a leader has been diminished. No wonder hundreds of U.S.-based climate researchers are trying to move to France to participate in President Emmanuel Macron's call to make the planet great again. Still, California gave America's climate movement a boost this week. The Golden State Legislature passed a law to continue its cap-and-trade system, designed to limit the total amount of pollutant emissions and to allow the marketplace to buy and sell pollution credits. Northeastern states might follow a similar path. California Governor Jerry Brown, empowered by the victory, is now discussing efforts to upgrade the state rail transportation system. Local climate activism has emboldened a reassuring and confident Al Gore to seize the spotlight on climate matters as he and Governor Brown lead the nation on environmental justice issues. But sometimes environmental justice means strategic litigation. California is leading once again. This week, flooding cities filed lawsuits against fossil fuel companies seeking to recover the cost of adapting to rising seas, which look like the civil engineering challenge of the 21st century. Humanity must rise to the challenge. Just as nuclear war once inspired collective human efforts, fear of climate Armageddon might as well. If humanity fails to act, It could be the evidence needed to resolve the Fermi paradox. Scientists have long wondered why, with so many millions of planets, no other forms of life could be found. The answer could be that life self-destructs, unable to evolve in a way that achieves sustainable use of its resources. Helping us to digest such dark thoughts, Senator Al Franken has teamed up with David Letterman to make climate education humorous. But U.S. Congressman Fred Upton may be taking climate change more seriously because the Michigan Republican and former Energy and Commerce Chairman is considering joining the bipartisan 48-member Climate Solutions Caucus. Solutions do exist. Bacteria are capable of generating fuel and eating and transforming carbon. Cloud creation and cloud engineering could reflect rays from the sun and reduce the warming effects. Irish cows are being fed seaweed to reduce methane emissions. Coffee and tea producers are becoming more sustainable. Vineyards are experimenting with ancient varieties of grape that might withstand changes in local microclimates, and people can be given incentives like paying them not to cut down trees. Still, the longer society waits, the more expensive solutions become, and that's not funny. Intergenerational tensions are rising, with people accusing baby boomers of ruining the planet. Tensions James Hansen and other scientists call it the young person's burden, and they estimate the minimum cost of storing carbon or creating negative emissions that capture CO2 from the air at nearly $100 trillion or more. Delaney Reynolds, a teenager in Miami whose speeches can be seen on Climate Monitor, understands the problem. She was featured on MTV News this week, and while she works to save her home from the rising seas, she offers hope. The truth is, Reynolds says, the facts don't lie, the science doesn't lie, and I have confidence we absolutely will be able to solve this problem.